We start off with Micah, 3rd and 1 on the first drive. Giants up the middle. Mozzie Smith, waste of a draft pick. That's what I'm thinking. Yes. Where are the linebackers? What the heck is going on? Same exact kryptonite that I've been complaining about over the past 3 years. 3rd and 1, Micah causes the false start. That sets up 3rd and 6. Bad snap, block field goal, 6-0 after Brandon Aubrey misses the extra point. The speed, like just watching it, it really looks like you're hitting fast forward with how he's moving faster than anyone else out there. It's crazy. He tracked down Daniel Jones on the Gilmore interception on the sideline. He just ran him down. He's a stalker. That's what I tweeted. He is a freaking stalker out there, and none of us could wait to see what other part of Micah's game he was going to unleash after all the offseason work and after his dominance in Oxnard at training camp. In the first half, Micah Parsons recorded 4 pressures and a sack on 18 pass rushes. He was double-teamed on half of them. All 4 of the Cowboys' sacks came on plays when the Giants double-teamed Micah Parsons. That was the beginning of the 7 sacks. All of them, the first 4, when Micah was double-teamed.
He's, he's the definition of a game wrecker. At this point, and sometimes you'll get, your game wreckers. Some guys you'll have these great disrupt. A lot of times, like a disruptor will come from the middle, and a wrecker will come from the edge. Right? Like, you'll just disrupt the guy from the middle. Micah could come from anywhere he wants at this point, and he did last night. I mean, he came from all over the map. He came up the middle, came from the edge. And he's just so much faster than everybody else.
Yes.
And Collins was like, well, his arms aren't that long. Yeah, his feet are faster than everybody else. And that's kind of why he's able to get around everybody. He's Dwight Freeney, but, it seems faster than Dwight Freeney.
Yes. Well, he's definitely lighter. Like, with Lawrence Taylor, I mean, I'm not going back and looking at LT film, even though I went down a Parcells rabbit hole the other day. It just seems, I know Lawrence Taylor is the comparison. He just seems faster. Like, speed is his number one attribute right now. I've always been surprised. I'm like, I don't look at him and think power with the amount of power that he does play with. He has it certainly, but dude, the speed is crazy.
It is, but also the thing, that I think separates him from Freeney is that, you can get Dwight out in a running game. You could just take him out of the game. And I don't think you can do that with Micah. At least I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, Micah's big. I mean, Micah had a ton of success blitzing right up the A gap yesterday. That was where he was causing a lot of problems. He was coming free on twists and stunts and doing different things. And if they're going to double team him, you've got to do some different things to try and free him up. But it's funny, when you look at his stat line in this game, when it's all said and done, where it's just the basic stat line, not the pressures or anything else, obviously. 3 tackles, a sack, 2 quarterback hits and a tackle for loss. And that sack counts as a tackle for loss. So we didn't have any of those. So you see it and you just go, okay, that doesn't look that impressive. It doesn't speak to just how dominant he was. The fact that he literally ate up 2 Giants blockers and just let Oso Odighizuwa run free and get the sack. He is an absolute monster. And it's 18 to 20 sacks this year.
I got to be honest, in watching the earlier games, I was like, okay, TJ Watt, he might be better. You're thinking about Bosa as San Fran is destroying Pittsburgh. Myles Garrett with the game-clinching sack on Cincy and Joe Burrow. And I'm allowing these other pass rushers to get into my mind. And I don't know who's the best of all of them right now, but then you see Parsons and you're like, okay, this is something different that he brings. He had a 3rd down sack on the Giants' second drive, and again, he caused the Stephon Gilmore interception that led to one of Pollard's touchdowns to make it 26-0.
They are going to, those 4 guys you mentioned, him, Watt, Bosa, and Myles Garrett, they're just basically going to take turns handing over Defensive Player of the Year honors to the other person. I think it's, and now it's Micah's turn. All 3 of them have one, and it's just Micah's turn now.
As long as he closes out the season strong. As long as he's finishing out December strong, then yeah. And that's the thing. My biggest concern right now about Micah, and you just referencing there him forcing the interception, Nick Eatman and I were talking about this in the press box. We both thought he was about to get flagged for like roughing or like, oh no, Daniel Jones has gone out of bounds. You couldn't hit him like that. I think, and they were whining for it, the Giants were. I think teams are going to start complaining to the league office that, hey, you got to watch Micah and the way he does it. My one concern right here is that we're going to start seeing Micah get hit with some like ticky-tack roughing calls. Like just late hits or like pushing a guy out of bounds or whatever else. I'm worried that we're going to start seeing little ticky-tack calls.
Let's talk about the rest of the defensive line, because Dak said it afterwards. This game ball goes to the defense. Dante Fowler was in the backfield. Tank Lawrence was Jason Garrett's key matchup to watch in the pregame. Dorrance Armstrong, Jerry's favorite. And then Osa. Osa had 4 sacks last year, and he had 2 last night. 7 total sacks, 4 in the first half. David Hellman tweeted out at one point, Daniel Jones has been sacked nearly as many times as passes he's completed. Daniel Jones had 0 completions to receivers in the first half. He had a 12 halftime rating, Tiki. The first wide receiver completion for the Giants came with 6 minutes left in the third quarter. Mike McCarthy on the pass rush as a whole.
Well, I mean, that's who we are. I clearly feel, we've taken another step. You could see that in training camp. But I would say, you look at the way teams are going to try to play us. You look at their first series. I mean, they're going to try to pound the ball and challenge our run defense, over and over again, try to, soften up the pass rush. But, the pass rush was relentless tonight. We gave up contain a couple times early, but, after that, I clearly was in total control of the game.
Total control.
Fan replay brought to you by Ciroc Vodka, Mike McCarthy. Afterwards, we have the video, thanks to Ryan, on the Fan Cam, Twitch, and YouTube. If you're new to the show, this is Star Up, Star Down. It's basically the Cowboys report card after every game at 877-881-1053. That is the truckwork.com text line.
It's a very specific one. Early on in the game, the pick play to CD.
Yes.
I love a good illegal play that's technically legal. It's technically legal, but it's also illegal.
You love loopholes.
I love loopholes. I love a good technicality. Okay, and that is that.
Well, old Jay Walker Garrett wouldn't do it. Remember, it's elite. We can't do anything illegal.
We're not gonna do pick plays.
We can't do any pick plays.
I like that. I like that. That's something that it's very New England Patriots. I think they kind of saw the loophole about 20 years ago. And finally things slowly make their way down here.
That was a third down. It was a huge gain to Lamb. And then I think they did it to Ferguson. I think they had another pick to Ferguson like right after that, but I wrote down the pick plays as well.
Did Ferguson catch it?
I can't remember. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, no, the pick play was, I don't know that CD's ever been that open in his life.
No.
He was completely wide open and just got a little gassed running down the sideline trying to finish it off, but no, I mean, CD, I thought, the design was good, but I thought CD was good last night, even in the limited opportunities he got. I'll tell you who I was really impressed with Star Up with is Brandon Cooks. And Brandon Cooks doesn't have like a gaudy stat line or anything else, but man, he sold the hell out of that third down pass interference call.
Yeah.
He kind of savvied that one. Same thing with went to the sideline, drew the illegal contact over there. He had that tough 4th and 3 catch over the middle, held onto the ball, getting hit. Then he had a nice 16-yard gain to start off a scoring drive. So I thought Brandon Cooks was really, really good for a stat line that doesn't look that impressive.
Absolutely agree. First team. The Giants were the first team to start 2 rookies in an opener since 2008. That was an ugly drive where Dak was a little bit off. He heaved it up. 3rd and 12, PI, bailed it out. And then, as you said, the 4th and 3 on the Giants' 39 in the second. McCarthy obviously going for that. Tell us about Wanye Thomas, his story.
So Wanye Thomas is a guy who has scrapped to get where he is. He spent all last year on the practice squad. He was a linebacker safety hybrid at Georgia Tech, went undrafted, signed with the Cowboys, hung around, worked his ass off all of last year, all of this offseason. But he's got a really, troubling background as a child, like what he went through. He was, I believe he was 4 years old when his dad lit their house on fire with his mom and him inside of it. And, his mom came in, scooped him up. They were able to get out of the house. His dad ended up in prison. But that's one of his earliest memories, he says, is sitting in his bedroom and his mom coming in and, pulling him out of the house that was burning. And he just had a really, tough childhood, just him and his mom growing up and living in a single parent household and dealing with the trauma of everything that went on with his dad. And he is scrapped, fought. J-Ron Curse was so happy for him last night, could not say enough nice things about him. That's a guy who the old right kind of guy line from Jason Garrett. That's the guy that currently in this building, that's one of those guys that they would say, that's a right kind of guy that we want. That's a nice character guy. It's a character guy. It's a glue guy. And he's somebody who, man, the work ethic is off the charts. And I know Dan Quinn is a big fan of his.
And I felt like he made a nice tackle on the first drive. And then he had a pass breakup. But in between that was the field goal block that led to the Igby touchdown.
We'll call her Vita from now on.
Yes, we'll call her Vita from now on.
Not just that, not just blocked the field goal, but then also blocked the kicker out of the play and let Igbenogany run down the... Like, if he's not there and working his ass off to block down the field, I don't know if Igbenogany may have gotten tackled. But you mentioned the run stop on the first drive. That was the first time they stopped a run on the entire drive, was when he wrapped him up right in the hole for no gain. And then, he had the pass breakup. And it wasn't just a pass breakup on, there was a little throw to the flat. He was sticking to Darren Waller, who is their big offseason acquisition.
You mean
He's
LeBron?
Their big threat. Yeah, LeBron. LeBron James.
You must have missed that.
I mean, I can fill in the gaps there. But no,
Collins were saying, when you have LeBron, you got to let him shoot. When you got Darren Waller, you got to get him touches. I was like, oh, Chris.
When you have Taysom Hill, you got to let him run. Yeah, so I mean, it makes sense.
Best ever.
But I mean, he stuck with Darren Waller when he was asked to do that. He made plays in the run game. He had the big block. That is a guy who, you want to talk about just a rock star debut for 2 drives. He is honestly the first domino that got pushed over. If you want to talk about the catalyst for yesterday, it was Wanye Thomas.
Another guy, Marquise Bell. I heard Broadus in the pregame say he may be taking over the Overshone role. He had a third down play on Daniel Jones that was really, really big with that gimmick crap. That's the only thing that New York can rely on offensively. So I had a little star up for Marquise Bell as well.